Super Rugby round number 13, folks. All the teams with the better records tended to get the wins in this one, barring the Drua's win over the Reds, although the Drua are a different beast at home. So kind of predictable, but also kind of competitive, like Hurricanes, Moana, Pasifika, Rebels, Chiefs. These games, I think, were a bit closer than expected. And then teams like the Highlanders, maybe a little bit underwhelming. But yeah, we'll go through the games, the log, how it's sitting, and the upcoming fixtures for the penultimate round. And you guys can let us know your thoughts on how things are looking. That game against the Moana Pasifika boys, Hurricanes, 32-24. Like I said, kind of, I think, closer than what it looked to be on paper. Especially with the Moana Pasifika guys having copped a few hidings in recent times. But the Hurricanes switched up their lineup and Moana Pasifika brought back some big guns. And it was a competitive game. I don't know that the Hurricanes ever really looked like losing, but 4 tries apiece. It's a good game. It was entertaining. It was closer than I expected, and it was a good watch. I watched that one with Mum and Dad. It was overall just a pretty entertaining game of rugby. So I was pretty happy with that one, even if the Hurricanes win comfortably enough in the end. The second one, which was the Rebels against the Chiefs, the key factor with that one, I think, was the fact that the Rebels were home. And they were going to need to use that home advantage. And it went down to the wire, this one. Like, the Chiefs brought back a huge amount of big guns. Their back line was looking phenomenal. But they never really got total dominance over the Rebels. Vaihu got one early for the Rebels. Anderson got a couple for the Chiefs. Va'i Tokiaho grabbed a couple. And then D-Mac with the boot just kept the scoreboard ticking over. 79th minute it took for the Chiefs to go and get that final lead with a D-Mac penalty. So far from, the 20-point, 15-point prediction maybe that you thought that one might go. Rebels were pretty good value. Potentially their last ever home game if they can't, remain in the comp next year. That's an off the field one that we'll kind of have to wait and see. But either way, I think that the fans pretty proud, even if they couldn't quite squeak a win at the end. That's the 2 Friday games. The Saturday games, the Drua against the Reds. I mean, when you see, if you haven't seen the Drua Reds game, Suliasi Vunivalu, unbelievably dumb. You get a yellow card for tripping a player once. That's still not great, but it's an instinctive thing. Maybe you can kind of understand it to a degree. It happens once or twice a season. But for it to happen to the same dude twice in the same game is unbelievable. He gets a yellow card for a trip, and he gets a red card for a trip because the second yellow. That's so dumb. It's one of the dumbest things. Like, the Reds was always going to be tough over in Fiji. They're in not a precarious position on the table, but they would have liked to be pushing a bit higher. But no, they don't do themselves any favors by playing with a man down for much of the game. Ikanaveri bags 2. They get a penalty try as well. Vunivalu, his couple cards, as I said, don't do his team any favours. But Aubrey, Crichton, Blake scored tries for the Reds. Crichton's one was particularly impressive. I mean, Aubrey's one was pretty sweet as well. So the Reds scored some good tries, but yeah, 28-19 in front of a pretty passionate home crowd. Good win for the Drua. And for the Drua's playoff ambitions, that was a really, really crucial win with an away game coming next. And we know the Drua don't win away games. Brumbies, Crusaders, that one was close. Almost went down to golden point. But like the Vunivalu one, also had a moment of stupidity which cost the away team. Loa Losio was pulling some strings in this one, which was really pleasing to see. Maybe goal kicking wasn't that much on point, but he really set up some good moves for the Brumbies. A lot of their, either it was a try assist or it was like the move that set up the play that led to the try for the Brumbies. Muirhead got one, Wright got a couple, and Valentini got one for the Crusaders. Reese had one denied, but ended up getting one later. McNichol got one, and Hotham got one, with Fihaki kicking a long-range penalty on 75 minutes to square the game up. That's why I say it looked like it was going to go to golden point. Then Lolosio had a chance to pinch it on 79 minutes, but he hit the post. But the runners chased the ball, and then it was in the Crusaders' in-goal area. And Quinton Strange thinks he's playing rugby league. He just slaps the ball dead, which you can't do. Ben O'Keefe even said you can't do that in rugby union. So, penalty try. Brumbies win it. a kind of freebie at the death. Like, geez, the Crusaders season was on the line with that one, with the Drua having got a win. Now the Crusaders are more than a win behind the playoffs, so they need to win their final 2 games, basically. But yeah, crazy dumb stuff. So the Brumbies think it's the first win over the Crusaders, and they said like 15 years or something crazy. So yeah, the Crusaders are breaking all kinds of records this year. Rob Penny's getting all kinds of grief, and as the coach, that's the thing. But if your players are going to do some dumb stuff like that, part of that's beyond your control. But anyway, 31-24 in the end. Blues Highlanders I thought would be pretty close, because the Highlanders played their full strength team as much as they could. No changes, and the Blues changed a large portion of their side. A couple of guys on debut, and 47-13 absolute hiding. It was close at half-time, but second half masterclass from the Blues. I mean, Tavanoa got 1 try for the Highlanders. Cam Miller kicked some points from the boot, but Tuangafasi got 1, Forbes got 1, he dropped 1 and he could have had another. Eklund got a couple, plus set up a really nice try assist with a pretty sweet pass. Banks got 1 on his debut, Cade Banks, so congratulations to him. He had an awkward moment in his post-match interview where Ricky Swanell put the microphone to him to interview him, and he just ended up grabbing it, so they just kind of end up holding hands by the microphone, which is awkward, but maybe there's an instinctive reaction when someone offers you something that you just want to take it. I don't know. Once somebody asked me to hold their drink, can you hold this for me? And I said, thank you. And they were like, I'm not giving it to you. I'm like, I know you're not. I don't know why my brain did that. So maybe it's just a human brain thing, but that was kind of awkward at the end, but still getting a try and debut. That's pretty sweet. Funaki got 1, and Caleb Clark had an absolute banger. He got an intercept 1, but he was getting run meters and busting tackles and clean breaks and whatnot all game long. So, yeah, Harry Plummer continues to be pretty reliable from the tee. 43-13, Gordon Hunter Memorial Trophy stays with the Blues. And then the final game, the Force against the Waratahs. The Force will be disappointed they didn't get a bonus point try. In terms of the way the log is sitting, they could have used the extra point. But no, they still get the win, which is crucial. The Force have a pretty good time at home. Kunzel got 1, Donaldson got 1, and Princep got 1 for the Waratahs. Nawani Tawase got the early one. But yeah, they're forwards, they're props. They've just had too many prop injuries and way too many penalties, man. I mean, scrum time was atrocious for the Tars. I can't blame them because they've had such a long injury list. They've been getting guys in on emergency loans, basically. They conceded 15 penalties to the Tars, 8 of them to their props. So, yeah, dominated. They conceded a yellow card there as well. So, yeah, as I said, the Waratahs season needs to come to a conclusion pretty swiftly. I think it's been tough for them. Coach seems pretty dejected, but for the Force, they're still alive with that win. But as I said, that final point may come in costly. If we look at the way the log is sitting, top 4 sides, Blues, Canes, Brumbies, and Chiefs, they will all host home quarterfinals. They can't be caught from here, but the order of the teams kind of still in question with 2 rounds to play, 50, 47, 43, and 42. The point totals at the moment, the Blues did get that 4-try bonus point, which the Canes didn't in their game, so that's a little bit of a boost for them. Then the away quarterfinal sides at the moment, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, Reds, Rebels, Highlanders, and Drua. So not all those teams safe just yet. I think the Reds are safe, but the other teams, maybe the Rebels are safe. Could still be caught. Certainly the Force are only a couple of points behind the Drua. No, I mean, the Force could catch the Rebels as well, couldn't they, with 2 games to play, but it's hard to see any of those bottom sides taking maximum points from the final 2 rounds. And then sides outside the playoffs, the Force are on 19, as I said, just behind the Drua on 21, 2 points behind. The Crusaders are on 15. They can still make it, but they need other results to go their way, and they probably need to get 2 wins. They certainly need at least 1, and then the other sides to get no points, basically, and then the Crusaders would need like losing bonus points or something. So, yeah, it's looking like an uphill battle. Penultimate round games, Chiefs, Hurricanes, that should be an absolute banger from Hamilton. Brumbies, Rebels, the Brumbies will be big-time favourites at home. Moana, Pasifika, Waratahs from Mount Smart. That's probably a battle of 2 sides not going to make it, because that's the 11th against 12th. I don't reckon there'll be a big turnout for that one, personally. Crusaders, Blues, big game for the Crusaders. Big game for the Blues as well, I guess, mentally, to get a bit of a Crusaders monkey off the back. Form-wise, the Crusaders should be going down all day long, but I've been burned too many times to say that with any confidence. And then Reds, Force don't travel well, but if they're going to win, if they're going to get into the playoffs, they need a win. And then Highlanders, Drua, the Highlanders will be looking to bounce back, and the Drua have not won an away game just yet, so we'll certainly be underdogs for that one as well. If you guys are in the States and want to watch some Super Rugby, getting into the playoffs, end of the season, Flow Rugby's got all the games, so down in the description, check that out. They're an affiliate of the channel. But yes, you guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.